Shalom, shalom. It's been a while, so hallelujah. Anyway, looks like today now the President Joseph Biden is, I guess they're trying to introduce a new bill in Congress or whatever on white supremacy and domestic terrorism and all these other things that supposedly is going to cure what happened on January the 6th up at the U.S. Capitol. you know, um, every time something, they'll use some type of a crisis thing. And honestly, I don't want to call this a Reichstag event, but it certainly seems like, at least as far as the media goes, you had a couple, 100, 200 people maybe go in the Capitol at the most, and probably even out of those that went in, there was probably just a small element of those that were, extremely violent and destructive. And honestly, those people, they should freaking go have their ass took to jail. Really, honestly. Y'all know you ain't supposed to be in there. Don't be a dummy. Don't be a dumbass. Anyway, but anyway, it just seems like they're using this as a Reichstag event. You've got social media companies now banning people. All kinds of stuff going on. So the effect of what happened on January the 6th it does seem to be turned into a Reichstag event where everybody's pointing the fingers at each other. Oh, you're a Republican, so that meant, there's a 90% chance that you're a domestic terrorist, or you're a Democrat, and no, you're a Black Lives Matter or an Antifa activist. And, so the polarization is going on, okay? But I want to talk about this bill that is being introduced, and that is just typical knee-jerk reaction stuff. They use these events so they can pass a whole plethora of new laws in which they can expand the scope of their ability to govern, or whatever they want to call it. And the truth of the matter is, they're not necessary. There are already laws that cover everything under the sun. As far as criminal activity goes, as far as, not doing the right thing, there are already laws there that exist and have existed, What about the Patriot Act? Patriot Act 2, where's that at? Does anybody even mention that anymore? I mean, that expanded what we would call a police state in the U.S. that, probably, even turned the head of Communist Party of China, So, not that some of those things weren't necessary. I'm sure they was. But goddamn, there's always been a law against going through airport security with a frickin' box cutter. All right? There's always been a law that you can't just, you can't just drag a baseball bat with barbed wire wrapped around it into a damn, little league soccer game or something like that, You just can't, you just can't do stuff like that. All right? You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You can't, certain things you cannot do. Never have been able to do. Until somebody does it. And then you got to come up with 20 more new laws because you failed to enforce. And that's exactly what it is. You failed to enforce the laws that are already on the books. Well, guess what? Mr. President, Mrs. Vice President, Mr. Senator, Ms. Speaker of the House, whoever you may be, minority leader, majority leader, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Reason what's already on the books is not being enforced is because the funding has expired. And there's nothing new to print money on. There's nothing new where you're going to need another 20 or 30 billion. You got to find an excuse. My dog yacked up the grass he ate yesterday. We need $500,000 in veterinary school research funding so we can find out why dogs puke when they eat grass. The money ran out. You got a new reason why you need to get another $150 million. What? So that the Washington, D.C. police can gain 30 more pounds and fail to respond to a situation or preventatively respond to a situation because they're too busy eating a jelly donut? Well, it's all about the money, folks. That's all it's about. It's about the money and how much they can get their hands on. And they'll use you. They'll use an event. They'll manufacture an event. They'll allow events to naturally transpire because they know it's inevitable. Whatever. Let's just say all this stuff did happen in a vacuum. Let's say it did. Doesn't mean we didn't have laws already on the books with gun control, with everything. It's already there. Doesn't mean we don't have laws already on the books that basically are written in such a way where things shouldn't happen in a vacuum. It's about the money. They need new laws because they done spent those trillions of dollars have gone all under the bridge. You know, the shit that you've been paying on, your daddy's been paying on, your children are paying on, your grandchildren are going to pay on, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren are going to be paying on. So, hey, you're in the here and the now. You don't live forever. You got a job, you're a politician, got a salary, got to have some reason for justifying your existence. So you pass a law so you can spend more money because you're not going to be the one to pay for it. You're not the one that's going to have to experience the inequalities or the inequities of applying the law. You're not going to have to experience the short-sightedness of having knee-jerk reactions because you're out of money. So you come up with a new law so you can get the money. And then I'm sure that somebody's going to drive a garbage truck and they're going to run over somebody's dog next week. And you're going to have money for that. You're going to have to put some of these cow-catching devices or some shit on the garbage trucks like they had on the trains, you know, where you just knock the cow out of the way instead of having all that bloody carnage all over the road. You can't have that. Gotta have, 10, 15 million for that, It's all about the money. I'm not the sharpest knife in the box, but I didn't fall off the cabbage truck yesterday. I ain't that stupid. And you know what? I don't believe you are either. Have a good day. Shalom.